welcome to the Scratticus Academy. It is the penultimate session of Eden today, which makes me glad. But otherwise, please check out all the links that are coming up in chat now. A huge thank you to our wonderful sponsors in the form of Bird and Storm, and also Mage Hand Press, who we would definitely not be able to do this without. So please go check out their links below. You can also find some discounts on some other sites, basically for all your TTRPG needs. So go and check those out as well. Without further ado, let's hop around and say hello to everyone. So first of all, let's say hello to the very lovely Hans. Hello, Hans.
Hello. Just happy to be here and be lovely. Everyone else looks lovely. I'm like the same as always, but everyone else looks lovely. So thanks for inviting me to this lovely people party.
Well, you look lovely too, Hans. There we go. So we're going to hold on and say hello to Zelda. Oh, hi. Is your internet?
Hi, I'm Zelda, and I wasn't here last time, and then I watched it again, and it was... Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Good. Okay. Hi, I'm Zelda. I wasn't here last time. Things went down that I totally was not aware of when I popped in for like a few minutes. Oh my god, I missed so much.
It's fine. It's all good. You're fine.
I'm really glad that recap.
I'm glad you got caught up on that. So let's hop over and say hello to the very lovely Heavenly. Oh, hi.
Hi, hello, it's me. I'm Heavenly. I play Coil, the paddle bot. I'm here to paddle people, and you know, this is America's next top paddler, not America's next top best friend. So.
Thank you. And then we're gonna hop over to Bree. Oh, hi.
Hello, I'm no paddler, but I will kill anyone who stands in the way of my friends and loved ones. It is I, Bree or Dot, everyone's favorite shouter and yeller. Bad at communication, bad at social interactions, but full of fucking love. Like a raccoon you dipped in the bathtub once, angry and full of love.
That is officially the best description I've ever. Okay. And last but certainly not least, Renee.
Hi, I'm Renee, and I do a bunch of things. I just finished a wonderful game that I freaking love called Just Because You Can on Scratticus Academy, which will also be in its finale week next week because everything's sad. Don't worry, we'll be back. Season 4. It's fine. I'm still sad. We'll be fine. There's more great things ahead. Also, speaking of great things ahead, and great things happening currently, I guess, I do a podcast called Fate and the Fable Maidens, which is family-friendly actual play D&D, and it can be found at Fate FM Cast across social media. And great things coming. We're in pre-production for Eden Fall, an audio drama that is based on this very show. So you can follow that at Eden Fall Cast across social media, and I just can't wait. Also, I write articles for the Scratticus Patreon, and there should be one coming from me super soon, like this week-ish. And also, I'm bad at math days. Very soon, though, promise. Also, side note, but I did talk about it earlier because I'm very excited about it. I work for a company called Monocle Society, and they make a game called Weave, and we just released a really cool app update that is really sleek and that I wrote the rules for, so I'm very excited. It's a cool thing, and it happened like right before Just Because You Can, so I'm still kind of on that high as well.
Yeah, shout about it.
Let's play Eden!
Okay. So last week we arrived at this sort of prison, this hospital type thing, and Coil attacked the doctor and knocked him out in the office almost straight away of arriving in true Coil style. And soon after, we actually discovered that the nurse, or the receptionist behind the reception, didn't seem that bothered by you doing this. In fact, she seemed to know and was waiting for you to arrive. And This session, I will explain to chat a little bit, especially as it is the penultimate session. This is going to be a very RP heavy session where characters get to interact. They get to choose scenes, maybe have a flashback and do some roleplay in that sense, but also roleplay with each other before the finale because we get quite intense for reasons. So we're currently in this prison, this sort of hospital-based place, and this receptionist guides you into a room, a very clinical room, painted white walls, very simple chairs. It almost reminds you of the Peacekeeper's office, in particular, Dot, before you were interviewed. You can see some static as these holograms of plants are sort of placed in the corner to make it look a little bit more homely. But otherwise, this is very clinical. There is not a single poster or picture or window in this room. There's nothing on the walls. And she guides you in. So, please, take a seat, and I'll come get you when we're ready for you. We'll give you a tour. And
Thank you.
no problem. Thank you, JD. And she backs out of the room. She doesn't turn her back on you. She completely backs out of the room and closes the door shut.
She's a smart lady. That's how you get shot or stabbed or paddled. Who knows?
She has just witnessed the doctor been taken out, so you are now in this room, this waiting room, and you can sit there in silence for quite a bit. You hear her footsteps walk away. You can tell she's not waiting by the door or anything like that. Is there anyone in particular who would like to go first as who to talk to who? It can be a flashback. It can just be a role-play moment. It can literally be you role-playing waiting in the waiting room.
Yeah, I think that JD goes to sit by Artie and Soren and gives them kind of like a questioning smile to make sure that's cool.
I smile awkwardly back, I'm assuming.
Very awkwardly.
It's fine. It's fine. We're all awkward in this house. And JD sits down.
And Soren sort of leans forward and looks over to you, JD. He's like, are you okay? You seem nervous.
I kind of am. I don't know. It could be the boat just still messing with me, but I don't know. Something about this feels so final. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you know what it reminds me of was when we all got arrested by the Keepers of the Peace, and we had to wait in that room.
Yeah. That was like when I first met you. That was when we all first met. Most of us. Yeah. We met Dot and y'all met Soren. That's so weird. It's like it's come full circle. I don't know if I like that. It makes it feel like it's an end.
I mean, I really hope not.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, we sort everything out here and then we go home. Correct?
Yeah. I mean, that's the plan. Just gotta find Telemachus, stop the end of the world, and head home.
It sounds rather easy when you put it like that.
I think I left a lot out. Hey, do y'all know anything about time travel? It's just been on my mind. Something that Blister said earlier that just kind of
Not
stuck
physically.
with me. Right.
Wait, what does that mean?
It means
Like you have
I have a connection.
With time travel?
Sort of. With the creator of it.
Is that Telemachus?
Correct.
Okay, see, I'm putting things together. Well, we're gonna figure this out.
She was 8 years old at the time. A very bright child.
Yeah, so I think Telemachus is like my great, 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 great something grandmother. I don't actually know how far back. I don't know the family tree. But also apparently time travel runs in the family.
She was a time agent. Therefore, the information would have been passed down. To some.
I guess it makes sense. It's just something to wrap my head around. I haven't figured it out yet. Like, does that mean I'm going to time travel or that I already have time traveled and I just don't know it? Like,
Soren sits back and doesn't seem to be involved in the conversation anymore.
If you've done it, you would know about it, right? I mean, unless no, never mind.
Future me
Nothing.
has done it. See, it gets really weird really fast.
Yeah. It's a lot. I thought you were going to come over and talk about Creel and Tari or something like that, but
Who was sat on the other side of the room, very upright, staring at the opposite wall.
that is like the same face you were making when Soren and I didn't sit by you.
What, you think I should go sit by Creel?
This is the most I am capable of telling what people are thinking. It seems very, very similar.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, sure. I don't know what I would say about Creel, right? Like the time travel thing's kind of on my mind. Yeah, I guess I could go sit by him.
Them, I mean, but yeah, JD, I don't even know what I was doing like 2 years ago. I mean, I don't have any ideas regarding time travel.
That's okay. I didn't really expect or need you to solve it for me. I think I just needed to tell y'all.
I don't think I can even be. It's a lot, and it makes me think about like what it would mean and how you would do it, and that's like a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. I'm just glad you listened. So.
Also, if you time travel, can you meet yourself? Because I have done that, and it is weird. I would recommend.
I don't know how that works.
I mean, again, have no idea, but it would be kind of like being a clone, which is weird.
Maybe I should ask Dot.
Yeah. That seems like a reasonable thing to do. That's what I usually do for myself if I have to solve something.
Then maybe I will go sit by Creel.
Sure.
Okay. Thanks, y'all.
Soren is literally from the time travel question. She's sort of looking in the other direction. She hasn't mastered subtlety yet.
Yeah, well. JD is gonna get up and kind of like wander away.
Okay, where are you wandering to?
Dot.
Okay, Dot, what are you doing right now? As Vestal, you can just about be waking up.
Right.
I want to point out you are in a hover chair.
Yeah. So the hover chair is Dot is like not sitting. She's leaning against a wall. The hover chair is kind of like turned in front, like angled away from the door, like back to the door, like kind of to the side of her. So it's like Dot, then Vestal with the door over there. She's kind of just sitting there. She's kind of like looking at her, watching, making sure nothing happens.
Wait, where am I?
Good morning, sleepyhead.
Dot.
I'm right here. I'm
Oh,
right here.
At least I know.
You're okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Nothing's blurry. You can see clearly.
Little blurry, I guess, just sleepy.
Okay, well, don't stand up until the blurry goes away. I gave you a sedative. We're on an island at the edge. You got attacked by a spider. You lost. But you're fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. But now we're in a secret prison where we have to fight Dawn, but you're not allowed to go near Dawn under any circumstance.
You can also see a man in the corner asleep with a cap pulled down over his head with a leather jacket on, snoring.
With like a rainbow dreads.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay. Remember the spider? And you returned to the edge. How long have I been out?
Like a day or so. It's okay. What happened was we were losing, and then Soren woke up and then summoned that man from the sky. He's also like a time traveler, I guess. And then he blew up all of the spiders, I guess. I don't know. Soren's a little different. It's all very weird. Just gonna have to take it a step at a time. But we're right at the big fight, I think. But you can't be a part of it, so just relax.
Please,
That's
thank
what I was
you.
approaching. You're taking my bit here.
Also, wait. Sorry, this is a lot to process right now. So, another person is born? And why am I not allowed to see Dawn? I thought we were supposed to, handle her.
How many people with magic forehead gems have you met in your life, Vestal?
One other than myself.
All right, well, we're going to keep it that way, and you're not going to meet Dawn, okay?
Okay. Yep. Why is it so imperative that we can't meet?
The secretary said that you shouldn't meet her because, I don't know, there's a secretary who knows what's going on, and she says that because you both are magic crystal gem folks, you should not go near her. And I'm going to trust her because if one spider can almost kill you, I don't know what a magic witch can. So you're not going near her. And if she comes near you, you go in the opposite direction.
I mean, I'm a magic witch, and I have come in contact with people with one other person with a gem before. And bad.
She's also been alive since the dawn of time, or the dawn of Eden.
Okay.
So I don't know how strong she is when it comes to that.
I mean, it makes sense, kinda. The person I met was twice, maybe 3 times my age. And she seemed quite a bit more powerful than myself. I mean, if Donna's older than her, then I fear for all of your lives, actually.
I'm not concerned. My concern is you getting out of here safely.
I'm safe, aren't I? I mean, you're here and everyone's alive, right?
Everyone's alive. Everyone's fine. But you've already gotten hurt once. We're not doing that again.
I mean, I almost drowned to death a year ago. Now, cut open, it happens, I guess.
It's not happening tonight.
No, I sure hope it doesn't happen tonight. I don't particularly want to be maimed or die.
Dot's gonna lean over and put both her hands on the handle of the hover chair. She's gonna look Vestal in the eye, very close. Just promise me, if you see Dawn, you're going to get away. Internet cut at the worst time because like, no, you have to agree with me.
Intense.
And the internet stopped.
I don't know if I can make that promise. If one of your lives is at stake. I mean, I'm not going to go waltzing in trying to track Dawn all on my own. But
When you say you can't make the promise, Dot's eyes lower into a very angry glare.
I am sorry if that makes you angry with me. But I'm not prizing my life over any of yours. You're all very important to me.
Fine.
I promise not to be foolish with my life.
Guess that's all I'm going to get from you.
I mean, maybe not everything.
What did you say? Cut out. Put the headphone in. I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you. Repeat yourself.
I just said it might not be everything. And that's where I'm going to leave that.
And at this point where it starts to get a little bit more personal, JD strides over in your direction.
And Dot pushes herself off of the hover chair and leans back against the wall.
Hey, Vestal, how you feeling?
Better. I hope my leg doesn't hurt as much anymore. I haven't tried walking on it or anything. A little dizzy, but for the most part, I'm seem to be okay.
We're so glad.
How are all of you? I've only seen Dot and now you.
Yeah, I think we're okay. A little shaken maybe after everything. There's been a lot going on. Actually, Dot, do you have a minute?
Yeah, JD, what's up?
I kind of wanted to talk to you about time travel.
Vessel's gonna look at the wall.
Soren and Vestal looking at the same.
Hi, I'm JD. I am the problem child.
Dot's gonna rub her hands together. And what about time travel? Do you want to know?
Well, I'm not really trying to figure out how it works, right? But like, there've got to be some kind of rules, something. And Artie and Soren and I got to talking, and we were thinking, well, surely if you can time travel, can you meet someone that can you meet yourself? Can you?
No.
No, okay. See, I guess that makes sense. I don't
Because
know. I'm grappling with a lot of questions, and I'm not sure that any of them have answers or answers that we know.
I mean, they might.
Well, it's been brought to my attention that I might be able to time travel. Because
Okay.
time travel, and that's like a tricky thing. What if I've already time traveled, you know?
Like you right now, JD, that has lived for this many years of her life?
Well, no, I don't think I've ever time traveled, but like some iteration of me, right? Like somewhere in my timeline or some timeline.
Right. Like many failed timelines.
Yeah.
Why do you think that you can time travel? Why is this? Where did this come from?
Well, Blister says that I am related to Telemachus, so
That makes sense. That does make a lot of sense. Did he mention the time travel thing to you as well, or was that something that you...
No, yeah, he mentioned the time travel thing as well. So, like, Telemachus is JD Soren called her a time agent. So, apparently, some people in the family can as well. They just have to have like a wrist thing.
A watch.
Yeah, like a watch. Also, kind of, I guess, makes me sort of family to Blister and explains the watch and time travel thing there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I just thought that since you had
Seen
met,
one of us with the capacity to time travel come to visit us.
yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to know.
Well, I'm not allowed to say anything, but you're smart.
I don't think you have to at this point.
I don't think I do. Only one of us survives this apocalypse, JD.
That's a lot. I can't speak to what happened in any other timeline. I know for damn sure I will do everything in my power to avoid it happening in this one.
I know you will. I haven't been worried about that from the start. Even from your past iteration.
I don't want to even imagine what that would be like. I can't imagine a world without all of you.
Well, it won't happen this time. This time is different.
It is. going to be.
Has to be. It's our last chance.
Looks like we got a new friend.
Just gotta save the world.
We've done it once.
It's a pretty good track record.
I
I'd
mean,
say.
we are, I would say we're 1-0, right? 1-0 means win. We're doing good. I mean, we've gotten this far. We know where Telemachus is, we know where Dawn is. And as long as we can convince Vestal to stay away from Dawn, we're all good. And she says that loud enough for Vestal to hear. Thank you. Your internet's not working. You can't argue with me. I'm automatically right because your internet's
That's
not working.
the law. Yeah, that's the law.
You have to listen to your angry doctor wife.
JD just kind of smiles a bit to herself and thanks for talking to me, but not telling me anything.
What can I say? And Dot is going to do a very rare thing for JD, and she is going to extend her arms out for an. It's her arms are stiff too because it's kind of like, what can I say? And she holds her hands out and it's like,
JD was gonna walk away without hugging Dot, but she really wanted to. JD's absolutely going to take that hug, but like gently. She's very excited, but
Dot will give her one firm squeeze, and then we'll try to like she won't recoil, but she'll be like,
that's okay. JD can read that. That's fine. Yeah.
Dot's trying.
No, that was great. And then she's gonna kind of reach out to like squeeze Vestal's hand if she'll take it. And I think that since internet's not working,
We'll never know.
we'll never know.
She has to. She doesn't have a choice. She
She doesn't have a
has to.
choice. That's the law. JD squeezes Vestal's hand and then goes over and slumps down next to Kirill.
Mhm.
Okay. And what is Coil doing at this point? Because Coil, you can see all of these interactions. You see Dot sort of in an awkward way hug JD. How are you reading this room?
I am just I'm just sitting in the corner, like not removed from everyone, but definitely it'd be obvious that I wasn't sitting with the group, and I'm kind of just watching everyone with like a blank screen face. I don't even have an emoji on my face. It's just the blank screen. And I'm just kind of like taking in these weird human interactions.
And after a while, as you sit there, Soren walks over to you, and again, not looking at you, but sits down in the chair next to you, just looking at the wall opposite, and where Blister is currently snoring, asleep. It's strange, isn't it?
What?
Human interactions. They are difficult to understand sometimes.
I would agree. We face an unknown obstacle, and the fate of Eden rests on our shoulders, and yet they are hugging one another.
I find it's what they do. Whether the outcome is good or bad, they seize moments and enjoy each other's company.
You have been with them for a long time.
I have been with JD even longer.
And do you find that you enjoy their company?
I very much do. Do you?
I do not know. I thought I did for a time. And then I found out more about myself. And I felt as if I did not deserve to enjoy anyone's company.
Why?
Because it is all my fault. Everything that has happened.
Incorrect. It is Adam Watson's fault. It is Dawn's fault. You are incorrect.
I am not incorrect.
You are incorrect.
Adam may never have been able to escape without me.
Adam Watson, from my readings and from my knowledge of being in his presence, was a manipulative human being. You were doing your job. You were protecting him.
I am not supposed to be able to be manipulated. I'm sure in my time as a keeper for these children, many such students attempted to manipulate me. And none of them succeeded, only Adam.
It doesn't mean you do not deserve these people. And she sort of gestures around the room. Not like, like it sort of does it quite subtly. Like,
You deserve them and them.
yeah.
I feel as if I cannot deserve something which, had things gone the way that they should, I would have never met.
But you
If
did.
I had been better, if I had done my job, if I had reported Adam as I should have, I would never meet Dot or JD or Artie or Vestal or you. And so I cannot deserve you in my life. You are an unfortunate consequence of my actions.
And Soren tilts her head to the side. And it's like she's thinking. So you regret us?
I regret that circumstances led you to me.
Circumstances or not, I am glad that you have become part of this group, this family.
I turn on an emoji face and it's a little frustrated one.
Just grumpy cat.
Blinks on. But to say that you are glad you have met me means that you are glad that you suffered at the hands of Adam.
Correct.
That makes no sense.
But it does. If I had not suffered at the hands of Adam, I would not have met Dot. I would not have met Vestal. And then she glances over just a little bit longer. I would not have met Artie. I would not have met you. Bad things can lead to good things. That's why you're incorrect.
I do not feel as if I am incorrect.
It's okay that you feel that way.
Why is this the most relatable like conversation I've ever had? Like this is like me every day of my life.
I am happy to have met you, Soren. But I am sorry that you had to meet me.
Why? I like you.
You don't even know me.
You barely know me, but you like me.
I have seen the way that you interact with the group and Artie. Perhaps that is what I always wanted, but I was not able to do it as well as you were.
I have seen you jump to my family's aid. That is a good thing. It shows care.
I have also done bad things.
Correct. So what?
I hit a man who opened his door. And then I broke their table.
You also liberated a microwave.
I feel as if I no longer serve my purpose, and it frustrates me.
Why?
I was made to teach, to help young humans grow to their full potential. That is not something I do any longer, and perhaps it was something that I was never good at. I don't remember my time with screen care, and yet somehow I miss it.
I was made to be a skybike. I am no longer really a skybike. I have become more, as have you.
Do you miss being a skybike?
I like flying. But I am happy with who I am now.
I don't know what I like.
You don't have to.
But then how will I know what to do?
And again she pauses. It will find you. It's how it works.
Is that not how Adam found me?
Is that not how Crowbar found you?
I didn't even know Crowbar. Not really. And
Did you enjoy your time together?
yes, when she turned me on, I enjoyed our conversations, watching her interact with the other humans who lived in the apartment with her. But inevitably, I led her to Dot, and then to her death.
That was Crowbar's fault. She should have listened and stayed with the pack.
Tell us how you really feel.
She should have just listened and she wouldn't have died.
Maybe she had a good reason.
Let it out. Let it out.
Crowbar comes back from beyond the grave and she's like, fuck you, you don't tell me what to do.
I'm charged of my own destiny.
That is one thing I will always regret, is that we never saw a true Dot Crowbar showdown, and it's just a loss. Thank God we have a
Honestly, it's
podcast.
probably-
I was going to say we could write it into the podcast. What are you talking about?
I'm so excited to get my ass kicked.
And if anyone wants to, well, hang on. How quiet are you being, Coil? Or is this just normal?
I think I have established many times that Coil does not whisper.
Then
Coil
you
has
all-
one volume.
You all can probably hear it, at least from the other side of this. You can hear these two robots having a conversation, almost like a heart-to-heart. Even over Blister's snoring.
Dot wants to get involved. And Vestal's still in the chair, so she's coming with because
I was gonna say, I imagine just Vestal like turning her chair and she's like, and like zooming over.
I'm truly an old woman now.
I'll put a blanket over your legs and pull your hair up in a little bun.
I need one of those long grabby things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you have psychic powers. I'm sure you could just maneuver things.
Yeah, lazy bum.
No, Dot's gonna like turn Vestal, and she's gonna like lean down over her shoulder to whisper in her ear. It seems like Coil needs some emotional help right now, so we're going on a little adventure. She's gonna push.
Oh,
You're still in this chair. You're all mine. I can keep you safe for at least while we're in this room.
I have absolutely no problem being your captive for now. For now.
For now, we'll talk about it.
I would like to be able to stand again.
You can stand again once the dizziness fades. We'll talk about captivity later, though. No, just kidding.
And Soren looks over at you, Coil, is a Dot is approaching. Like just almost like a warning is going off.
I disappear my emoji face and I'm just back to my blank screen.
Hello, Dot. Vestal, you look well. Ish.
It's nice to see you back together. Thank you.
And she just sort of smiles, stands, and walks away. She does not want to be in the midst of this.
I flash just one angry emoji in Soren's direction
He
and go back to
waves
his blank
and
screen.
goes sits back next to Artie.
I've never seen a robot awkwardly walk out of a situation like her.
She's getting better with emotions. Wait until you hear her like speak a lot of sentences. It's jarring how like human it sounds.
Yes, she has had quite a transformative few hours. Vestal, are you feeling better?
I am. The dizziness is almost gone, and I'm pretty sure I can put weight on my leg. I mean, I haven't tried, but
I did a very good job patching you up. Thank you. I think you're like, you'll be fine.
It appears that you do not need to try to put any weight on your leg for the time being. We are content to sit and wait.
Are we waiting for someone to show up?
I don't remember the setup to this episode, but I imagine that might be what is happening.
We're waiting for the secretary to return. We're making sure.
We are waiting for the secretary to return.
All of our ducks need to be in a row before we leave this room. AKA, Vestal, you need to be able to stand on your own. Everyone else to make sure they're emotionally ready. And realistically, everyone needs to say what they need to say while we're all here, which is important. Speaking of Coil, I don't want to say that I was listening into your conversation, but you are very loud.
I only have one vocal modulation setting.
That's fine. That's what makes you you. That's what we like about you.
That you can eavesdrop.
No,
easily.
it's that you're yourself and you don't try to be anyone else besides you. Even if you're not quite sure what you is.
I am a robot.
Yes, you are a robot. The one who put on, what was it, a janitor outfit and scaled an apartment complex.
I find onesies to be functional, and I don't understand why all humans don't wear them. They would take the complication of choice out of your life.
See, that's a personality trait. That's something you like. That's something you like that not all of us do. That's something that makes you Coil.
I am only what I was programmed to be.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't think we programmed you to like onesies. I think that's a
That doesn't sound very Crowbar.
Crowbar was a huge fan of onesies. She was always wearing that mechanic onesie.
That's not a onesie. That's
It is literally a onesie.
Coil. I just want you to know that we are happy we met you.
That is kind of you to say. Although I find it to be a reckless opinion to have.
Why? You're really cool.
I mean, you
There-
do reckless things.
Yes, you
but
do.
we do love you for it.
There are many cool robots that you could have met that would have come with less complications. If we had never met, that might mean that Adam never escaped.
None of those
Mm.
robots would be invested in what we're doing. You are.
Because none of those robots would have created the situation that threatens to end the world that we live in.
I mean, there was some tampering in how it came to be that it was you.
Yeah, that's something that I don't understand. You're very, very apt on this. I am a robot, you know. I am just a robot. I am just what I'm programmed. But you were programmed to make the decision to, you know, you programmed with the I don't know robots. I know blood and guts and stuff like that. I don't know robots at all. But you were programmed to release Adam. You weren't programmed to stop Adam, and you weren't programmed to feel this remorse for what you've done. Something happened to who you are as a bot that was out of your control. And instead of just accepting that, you're doing something about it.
It is in my base programming to find solutions to problems involving those who are in my care. Adam is still technically in my care, and the solution to this problem is to end him forever.
That's a weird way to care for someone, but I guess if it's Adam, I'm not going to complain.
I don't know, Coyle. From one person in denial about most things to another, it sounds like you're avoiding some, and I don't know if this is going to be the word that you're going to agree with, emotions. Sounds like you're trying to battle with some demons.
It is not uncommon for AIs to have lines of thought that might mirror human emotion, but what I am thinking is not emotional. It is the only option that I have in front of me.
Okay.
Coyle, do you know what those faces that you put up on your little face panel are called? Or what they used to be called?
No.
Emojis. do you know what emojis is short for?
No.
They are emotional pictures made
What does
from...
the D come from?
Listen, I was a shopper and a witch, not a wordsmith. He's not a writer. But the base, the root word.
The Latin root.
I'm old. I don't know what emotion.
I was not programmed with the ability to output facial
Responses?
responses. I found this book when I was cleaning Crowbar's apartment just a few hours or days, I don't remember, after we met, and I thought it might make you more comfortable with me because you all seem to be on edge in my presence. I do not look as human as Soren, and I do not act quite as human as Soren, and I thought that some type of facial feature might help you relax.
One, Yes, I did used to be very uncomfortable by you. That's not a lie. 2, I used to also be very uncomfortable by Vestal. 3, oh, you should have met Soren when I first met Soren. Soren was the sky bike.
Yes, Soren still has the ability to be a sky bike.
Yes, but you know what I mean, the personality of a sky bike.
I am not familiar with the personalities of sky bikes. Sky
Think of our
bike.
toaster at home. Think of our toaster at home. Think of our oven at home. Think of our refrigerator at home. Think of all of the light switches at home. Think of the fire alarm at home. Think of all of the tools at our home that talk. Soren wasn't always a human, robot, magical teleportation space thing who has a very unique flirtationship with a human. She worked on it, and she spent time with us, and she learned, and she had upgrades that she wanted and had things removed that she didn't, and then changed to be what she wanted to be.
Soren changed, and then she fell in love with Artie.
Yes. Why?
Perhaps I should fall in love. I'm gonna look around the room.
Well,
Blister is snoring opposite you.
I look at Blister and I make like a little narrow eye emoji.
let me make you a promise here. Don't fall in love with anyone else in this room. All of the good ones are taken. And who's left? Blister? He's gross. He's gross and weird and he drinks too much.
JD is not taken.
And she side-eyes at JD, who's sitting next to Khalil. I wouldn't have let that fucker join us if there was not an interest there.
I say at full volume, JD and Kirill are together. When did this development happen? I was unaware.
Kirill chokes on the little water cup he's got that he took from one of the water dispensers.
JD turns bright red and wait, do the chairs have like...
The chairs are also robots and they're like, are you enjoying your stay?
I was gonna ask if they had armrests.
Oh.
But okay.
I love that Heavenly just always takes it that little step.
Heavenly may be one of the most quick-witted people I know in the world.
Moderators to Heavenly's clever hour, the genius that...
That'd be the creepiest thing if you're sat down for like an hour and then the chair starts talking to you.
It would be so our lives, though, if we sat in the chairs for an hour and then they started talking to us. Wait, so do the chairs have armrests?
Yes.
She's gonna just like lean away onto the armrest, but not scoot over because there's nowhere really to go.
He now sits very upright with a cup like this.
It's a developing story, Coyle. It's a developing story. But, I mean, if we save the world, there's an entire Eden of people, of friends you can make besides us, which is totally a fair thing. We're kind of weird. Relationships you could have. Think about Chris, the guy who waited outside for the noodles. He was a good guy, and, you know, if the world wasn't ending, I'd love to hang out with him again. He seemed nice. He could be a friend.
How can you make plans for what happens if the world does not end when all signs point to the world ending inevitably?
Well, if we reserve ourselves to everything being over already, then how can we work towards making that not happen?
Because you focus on making it not happen.
Of course. Well, you have to have some sort of motivations, things to look forward to, hopes. Because if I look at the numbers, Coil, yes, one of us lives and the rest of us die. I'm on the list of people who die. But I don't want to think about that. I want to think about dinner dates, making friends, doing things, making the clinic better, saving lives. Because if I give up on hope, there's no reason to even try now.
If we reserve ourselves to it being over, then we might as well just lay down and die here.
Yeah.
I do not entirely understand, but I know that that is important to you, to have something to look forward to, and that it is not human for your mind to be taken up solely by one course of action.
More than just our future, Coil. You're also important to us. You're part of this weird, dysfunctional family where we all have a myriad of problems. JD has nightmares every night. I just don't sleep. Artie spent his entire life as a shut-in. Vestal's a 300-year-old witch. Khalil, he's new. I don't know anything about him. Honestly, we don't like each other. It's fine. I like that. I prefer it that way. Soren isn't
from the other side of the room.
and she's gesturing like loud enough. Like, we don't like each other, and that's fine. I like it that way. Soren is a skybike turned majestic, powerful AI who goes and gets her shit and does it because she wants to. I mean, fucking, what is it? Pustule? No, Blister. Blister over there. A weird genetic tie-in to JD, so technically he's family by force, and I don't have a choice about it. We're dysfunctional. We all have problems. We're not the everyday Eden citizen. But we're here saving the world together as a family.
You use the word dysfunctional, but it is not really a dysfunction the way that I was dysfunctional. And when I am dysfunctional, I am put in a scrap heap and I have to wait for someone to come and make me functional again. You all are human, and so you have eccentric characteristics, but they are not dysfunctions. Your dysfunctions don't mean that you are discarded until someone else comes and turns you on and finds another use for you. You do not need to download faces from a book so that people might be more comfortable around you. You have a place in this world that I, without a function, will never have.
That's where I'll disagree with you, Coil. Because no, I can't be turned off. There's not a button. I mean, I can be killed, but once I'm dead, I don't come back. But I have been discarded and waited until I had a purpose. And then I was used for that purpose. And I still do it to this day. The matron wasn't my mother. She didn't give birth to me and raise me. I mean, she raised me, but after a certain age, I had a mother and a father and two parents who loved me. They died. They were killed by keepers of the peace, and I was discarded. And then I was taken in by the clinic, and I was told not to feel, not to think about anything that wasn't medical, not to have relationships that weren't with the clinic, focus on saving lives, do nothing more. I was nothing more than a medical robot with flesh. It was my entire life until I met JD. until I met Artie. Till I met Crowbar. Till I met Soren. Till I met Vestal. Till I met you. I didn't know how to interact with any of them. I had to teach myself how to smile at the right moments, how to cry at the right moments, how to be a supportive shoulder, to make good decisions, to not worry them. It's not the same, but it's pretty similar.
I just am gonna stay silent for a while. Like as Dot was speaking, I tilted my head, like, you know, to show that I was like clearly listening to her, but I don't have a response yet, and so I'm just not gonna say anything.
Okay. And you three can effectively sit in silence now on the other side of the room.
Yeah, there you go. Just across my face is a little like the dots that like.
Would Artie like to talk to anyone, or what is he doing in this? What is he waiting?
I mean, he doesn't have to worry about hearing anything because it's gotten very loud. And he's sitting next to Soren, so he just turns to Soren and says, you know we're going to have to make some decisions here.
What do you mean?
I mean, when we go into whatever we're doing, we know the goal is to stop Dot, right? Or Dawn, right? Not Dot. Don't stop Dot.
Well, yes, that is correct.
And I know there's some stuff that I don't know right now, but it seems like the only thing that really matters here is what we do on this run. Whatever goes on, if there's time traveling or anything like that, that's later. That's a different, that's not our problem. That would be a different all of us.
I don't understand what you are trying to say.
Do you think JD needs you? Like, I feel like JD needs you to be there for her. Because whatever's going on out there, I'm getting the feeling it's really important.
It is important. And JD does need me. In fact, I think you all do.
Well, I mean, in the sake of us all surviving and living through tomorrow, I think we all need help with that. But in terms of where we're going to be when everything finishes, I don't think I'm important. I don't think I have something I have to do to save the world.
And she sits very quietly for a moment, still very upright. And she takes your hand and is like, you are important. Don't say that.
Right, but I'm not a flying robot with an amazing AI that can handle any sort of situation. And I don't know how to speak to machines, and I don't know what the secret is to making Dawn stop fighting Telemachus. I'm really here because I would just, I would be lost by myself. And I go where everybody else goes to make sure that I don't get snatched up by the OTC or something, I guess.
But
you gotta prioritize the things that are really gonna save the world.
I am. And she puts her other hand over her hand that is covering yours. You are Artie. That is enough. I do not understand why you are trying to sabotage yourself.
No, I'm not saying that. I mean, I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to be here with you right now. But I mean, like tomorrow we have a magic witch. Dot has at least 2 guns. Coil is an unstoppable killing machine. And I mean, JD seems to be very important in what's going on. I'm just saying, you know, don't. If something happens to me, keep going. I mean, there are other things that are going to happen when we get out of whatever's going on.
I don't understand by what you mean if something happens. Something is always happening. That is why we are here.
Yeah, that's really true. No, just I'm worried about what the right decision is for all of these things. It seems like everybody's really worried about what the right decision is right now. And I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
Artie, nothing is going to happen to you. And you can actually hear us go slightly robotic for a second before going back.
No, that's the thing. I'm kind of concerned that if something does, I mean, I am literally expendable.
No, you're not.
There's no, well, I mean, I don't know, but what I'm saying is I'm not going to be the one who's going to save the world.
How do you know that? There are ultimate, uncountable timelines. You can actually, for the first time, you hear her voice raise. There are so many different timelines. How can you even judge that now?
See, I feel like I'm not operating on the same level, and I don't feel like that's unreasonable. But there are a lot of people who have important things they could do. Coil could stop Adam Watson. Dot could stop Adam Watson. Vestal, something magic, that the same thing that Dawn's going to do, and it's going to be weird. I mean, again, I don't know what I'm going to do.
I'm a bike.
Yes, that is true, and an AI, and
a bike that drinks tea.
I mean, yeah, an advanced bike. I get it. It's just there's a lot of stuff that is going to happen, and I mean, you know, GD seemed really upset yesterday, or today. Was it today? I guess it was today. And I wonder if I'm making things harder than they need to be for where you should be putting your attention and where everybody else needs to focus.
I can go and ask JD.
Yeah, you could, but she's finally sitting next to Kirill, and that last part where Koya was really loud and Dot was really loud, I feel like there's been a lot of static there too. I don't want to take that away.
As you said, I'm AI. I have my own individual personality, therefore I make my own choices.
Sure. I agree with all of those things.
I believe you are important.
Well, that makes me feel good, but I mean, what am I going to do?
Be yourself. I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm panicking. I think I'm panicking. This feels like panicking.
And
I should go ask JD if this... No, I'm not going to interrupt her.
It's okay. I can talk to... And she sort of looks over at this scrapper.
It's okay. No. He's probably still really angry I talked to him earlier. I don't think that helps.
Are you panicking because you're scared?
Yeah, I am. I'm pretty much scared all the time right now. But a lot of the times I'm not so much scared we're going to die or something's going to happen. I'm scared that everything else is going to go wrong. And, you know, I feel like a lot of stuff is my fault, kind of like Coil at times. I don't think this is my fault. I'm just trying to say, you know, I'm panicking.
Artie, I'm terrified.
Right. That makes sense. I mean, I think you have more going on than I do, possibly.
No. I'm scared that I am not going to be able to go in there and save my family. And you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the exact... Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
And we're the same.
Right.
She pauses and sort of looks away briefly again. We won't die.
Yeah, that's possibly how this works, yeah. I'm not trying to plan like that's going to happen. Just there... I don't like this room.
It's very clinical. I'm sure
So-
Dot feels at home here.
Let me ask you this. Why is it that hospitals and police stations have so many things in common? That seems like a bad choice.
She sort of looks up and around. They're run by the same people.
That is so scary. Why would that be the same people? Ugh.
And she sort of laughs slightly. I don't know. I don't know a lot.
You're a lot faster at accessing information than I am, though.
It's because I'm a robot. It's what I'm designed to do.
Yeah, true. Okay.
I can't make tea.
I mean, you can. You've seen it so many times now.
Doesn't mean I can make it.
Oh, I am pretty sure you could.
I can't make tea like you make tea.
That's because you don't spill as much water as I do. And it's supposed to be artistic, but I also feel like I'm a little bit clumsy with it.
I like it. I like your tea. I can't make tea like that.
No. I mean, you don't have to. You do stuff your way. I like you. I'm scared. I'm scared of where we're going. I'm scared of the fact that I don't know what we're going to do, you and me. I'm scared of the fact that I don't know what everybody else is going to do. I tried unloading a lot of it by trying to help JD out with Creel, and I'm like actively pointing at JD and Creel, and I feel like it's getting loud at this point. But I don't feel like that went really well either. See what I mean? But
And Soren just like takes both her arms around your shoulders and pulls you in for a hug. You don't have to not worry.
okay.
Just stay like this for a bit.
Okay.
And you just feel her rest her head on top of yours. And we're going to hop over to JD as there's been so much gesturing in this direction.
JD is so mortified.
We're the best family.
I don't know. I'll decide where I stand after this role-playing session.
And you've got Kareel
You are the
sat
best
there.
family.
You've got Kareel sat there with this tiny little cup of water just sipping from it. Very upright. Your people are strange.
I swear that they have never done this before. I am so sorry for them.
Why? You
They're-
didn't do it?
No. I just... You decided to come along, and I want you to be comfortable here.
And he looks around at this room. This is the most uncomfortable room I have ever been in.
At least the chairs don't talk, huh?
And he tips his head to the other side and squints.
It could happen. I just... I love them. I really love them. I'm not really sure what's gotten into them right now. Maybe it's the end of the world.
You keep saying that. All of you do.
We're used to high stakes.
Why?
I don't know. Used to, I would just deliver food and then go home and watch cartoons every day. Then I met these folks, and it's not their fault. I think I would have. Whatever ball started rolling, it brought me to these folks. And together we faced a lot. There was this virus last year. The almost knocked out.
I heard of it. It killed many of my people.
Yeah. We were kind of the ones who stopped it.
Thank you. Truly.
Thanks. We don't really talk about that much because it just... Well, it took a big emotional toll on all of us. And it's top secret stuff, and...
And you're telling me in a waiting room.
Sometimes you just have to be able to talk about the things that weigh on you.
It's a good thing to do. You should do it more often. Like I said, I am a talkative person. Talking helps.
I've tried. I went to counseling for about a year. Haven't been since this started. Okay, yeah, I can sleep better than I used to. Kind of. I still have nightmares sometimes, but I don't have panic attacks as frequently. I feel more confident, more capable, and sometimes I feel like that breaks a bit, but for the most part, I feel better.
Then talking is working.
Yeah.
Then you should do it more.
I do it a lot.
About the right things.
I don't really know what the right things are.
Okay. And he sort of like adjusts himself in the seat slightly just to face towards you a bit more. Tell me about your friends, your family, even that one, the one I don't like. And he just sort of looks over at Dot.
Okay, so there's Dot, since you've pointed her out. She is fierce and strong, and I feel like she's probably the most frightening person I know, but she doesn't turn it on us. I mean, sure, if we've done something in the apartment and she's gotten mad about it, it's still a little scary, but she fights for us, not against us. She's... Well, and that's even beyond that. She fights for us, but she fights for anyone who can't help themselves. She runs a clinic where she helps people, heals people, especially ones who don't have resources or the ability to get somewhere else. She's very capable.
She
Then-
seems it.
Fiercely protective, too.
And angry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Angry is not always a bad thing. I am merely pointing it out.
It is a bit dangerous when she has a flamethrower, which has happened before.
I can see that. She reminds me of my sister.
I could see that, actually. I mean, I didn't really talk to your sister much, but I could see it. Yeah.
Jules, too, has a flamethrower.
No way.
It causes problems.
Yeah,
She's
I can
not
imagine.
as cheery as I am.
I would be very interested to spend more than 5 minutes with her.
He's just deadpan like there's nothing. And then that one and looks, sort of points over towards Coil. That
Coils.
is a fine fighting machine. I saw it in action.
Coil's the newest member of our family, and I don't think they feel like they fit in yet. Well, obviously, they don't feel like they fit in yet, but I wish they could. So, last year, when all the cold virus stuff was going around, we met someone named Crowbar. She was the scrapper I mentioned earlier, and she was also very capable and talented and had a real skill for mechanics. She was also scary and honestly probably the one person that I would bet could beat Dot in a fight.
Dot immediately
I know, right? It's like, because I wouldn't say that about anyone, but we didn't really get the chance to get to know her before she was killed. And we didn't realize that she left a legacy in Coil. It's an incredible robot. And I think they don't know exactly what they're capable of themselves, and they're definitely trying to sort out what is feeling versus processing versus thinking, and what is robot versus human, and that's a really complicated process. But I hope that as they go through it, they'll feel more comfortable and more at home with the rest of us.
He looks over at them again. Looks over at Soren and looks over at Tari. Sometimes it can take a while, but they get there.
Yeah. Soren, God, you should have met her last year. She was still my best friend. But she has grown so much in the past year. I mean, she has like a boyfriend now almost. I don't know if they've really decided exactly what the term there is, but she has someone. And I am so happy for her. I'm selfishly happy because I've gotten to grow more of a relationship with her than I ever thought that I would. Used to, she was just my delivery sky bike, and I say that knowing that she was never just one thing. But when you see what she is now, who she is now, the comparison is just unfathomable.
And again, he looks back over at Soren. Is she still your best friend?
I hope she'll always be my best friend.
He nods. The one who is different from all of you, the one with the stone, as he sort of glances over at Vestal. Who is that? They have been passed out for most of our interactions.
I think you'd like Vestal. Vestal is magical. That is actually a literal statement. Vestal is magical. But beyond that, I'm best friends with almost everyone here. They're so close. It's family, but Vestal is probably the best friend in the group. She's a fantastic listener. They know what we need. It's intuitive, it's perceptive, it's genuinely compassionate. Like deep down in her heart, she cares for other people, and we needed that when we met her. We had so much going on and we didn't know what to do, and she jumped into a hellish situation and just hardly batted an eye. She didn't fight it. She fought with us and supported us, and I think she takes care of us all now. Especially now that we all kind of live together. We'd probably be lost without her.
And the quiet one. And he points over at Artie.
Yeah, when you've lived with Artie for a year, you would not say he is the quiet one. I mean, no, Vestal's probably quieter long term.
And he
Yeah.
raises an eyebrow at that.
I'm just, look, we've roomed together for a year now. Things happen. Artie is, well, I keep saying everyone's like my family, but Artie genuinely feels like a brother, and I've felt what it's like to lose him, and I hated it. I hated it. I'm glad I met him because something with us just clicked. Like, we were always meant to be friends. Like, we were meant to spend time together and meant to get along, meant to sometimes wear matching clothes and give each other a hard time. And
Matching clothes.
yeah, so it kind of became a running joke where Artie and I would have matching shirts or matching jumpers or whatever. And we own it because sure, it's like oh god, what did they call it? The Adventures of Artie and JD.
And that's a thing.
I don't know that it's really a thing so much as a joke, but I'm glad for it because the time with him really helped me embrace my role in whatever this group is. Artie was learning a lot, but I learned a lot from him. And if I hadn't had that, I wouldn't have a cafe now. Soren, my relationship wouldn't be where it is now. Hell, we wouldn't probably all live together now. Artie's like a glue that stuck us together and then held us together.
Interesting. Feels almost like my group, the one you met, sadly did not get to meet for too long before I was, and he looks around, invited to the edge.
I wish everyone could have a group like that. I'm glad you do.
And I am glad you do. You have a Soren, I have a Tari. And she literally leans forward, is like, hello, and just does a little bit of a wave and then sits back up again.
So, you mentioned it before, but is Tari your best friend?
Correct. I built her. I found the AI, and she wanted to walk, she wanted to talk. So I made it so she could.
That's amazing. That your relationship started there and has grown into such a connection.
You seem to be good with robots too. That one now drinks tea, and you sort of look over, and Soren has met her and Artia like hugging, but you can see like an empty like water cup. You know she's not drinking out of it for necessity. You've noticed she's picking up human quirks.
Yeah, I am really proud of her for that. Like, well, first off, she came to me because she wanted to drink tea, and I didn't realize that she wanted to drink tea because I already drank tea, and now it just makes so much sense, right? But
They drink tea.
they drink tea. They are those nerds. Aren't they cute?
He turns to Tara, is like, did you want to drink tea? Like, it just sort of looks over, and she shrugs just up and down. You hear that whir as the metal goes up and down and the wires. It's like, you may have to show me how to do that. As he looks back at JD.
Yeah, JD leans forward a little bit and addresses Tari and says, you mentioned, or Kirill mentioned that you wanted to walk and talk.
Correct.
What do you want now?
I want to help. I want to travel. I want to see things.
What are the kinds of things you want to see?
And she sort of looks at Kirill briefly and is like, not scrap piles.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
You can see him just roll his eyes and sort of sit back briefly.
Have you seen the city?
No, I have not. He is too scared someone will try to snatch me and sell me.
Oh, that is... Honestly,
I am unique.
Yeah, you are.
Therefore valuable, apparently.
Yeah. I also think you could fend for yourself.
Correct. But if a robot reaches out and attacks another human in defense, it will not be seen as defense.
Soren has lived with us for a year. I don't know that anyone's tried to take her. If they have, she has not told me about it. But at the very least, if you traveled with someone, I own a little cafe in the Silver District. Soren and I do, technically. It's not mine, it's ours.
Together, you run a cafe.
Yeah.
And
We learned how to bake a cake last year, and it was a little bit of a process, but it was worth it.
And Tari looks at Kirill. Why don't we own a cafe? And he's like, I will try and change that. Sort of like he's not really with it, but like he is talking to her, but you get the feeling maybe he realizes there's not a lot of chance because with everyone's mood, everyone's literally telling each other how much they appreciate them whilst they wait in a room. And he's like, this is not normal.
It's, I mean, you don't have to own a cafe necessarily. You just have to come visit mine.
Will that do? And he sort of looks over at Tari, who's just nodding. And I'm going to take a really quick bio, and I will be back in just a second.
Fair, fair, fair.
Hi, hello. Thank you, Renee, for melting my heart for like 5 minutes straight.
I love you.
And actually longer, because listening to you talk about all of the people in our group is really sweet.
I really love you all.
I love you so much, you guys.
Oh my god, you guys, I love you so much.
I love you all. Next week, when we are at the end of the Eden stream, we just filibuster and we just don't stop. And that way they have to keep going.
Until
They can't even once we leave the
yeah.
chat.
Here's the thing. Alice can't end the game if we don't let her.
Right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna spend the entire rest of the next episode smooching and looking outside the windows and holding hands and
Yeah, because JD is not smooch ready yet, but like
yeah, we need to get her smooch ready. We need at least one more episode to get her smooch ready.
Right.
Except for when Rebecca walks through the door.
When Rebecca walks through the door, let's just
We
shoot
have to
her.
paddle her.
Close the door. Shoot her and lock the door.
Shoot her and lock the door.
Do we just paddle her and run? Like, we just run. We just get out of any plot-related path.
Let's
and
get
just
on a boat and let's
run.
just sail into the middle of the ocean.
Yeah. Eden was never
Sail into
about
the sunset.
I'm
Eden
sure
was
one
never
of
about the city, it was about the family, you know, so now that we're all together, we can just sail away.
Can
I have kind of a risky
real
question.
equals the family we made
What's your
along the
question?
way.
What if Alice ends the world?
I mean, that's a possibility.
No, because think about it. If we just live on the ocean, what we can do is we can make one of the robots, we could upgrade one of them to filter ocean water, and we can just live on a boat together forever.
So we don't mind if the world ends, we just
need to be
have
together.
our own party.
I'll put the water in your mouth from my mouth.
Hashtag roommates at the end of the world.
Eden, season 3, how we survive the end.
It's a party yacht.
You've never even seen a yacht.
Obviously, this is how yachts get invented.
Look, we just take the ferry guy with us, and we use the ferry.
Yes.
And then Coyle can romance the fairy guy, and then everyone has a ship.
And JD
And we
will
have an
plunged
actual
to
ship.
the middle for the rest of the days because
I
she
know.
She'll get used to it. I mean, Coyle can go to the bottom of the ocean and collect parts, and we can upgrade things like that.
Also, being a time traveler means you can save the world anytime you want. In like 50 years, when she's tired of this, she can just take care of it then.
I'm honestly not sure that's how that works.
We have Blister here. He can do it.
Yeah. So
Blister like is currently snoring away with
Exactly.
Gizmos climbing all over him.
we've got a plan. We've got this. It's fine. You can't get rid of us.
I feel like this is easy. We'll just do this.
Here to stay. But
And
also, yeah. I already cried once this game, and I expect to cry a lot more this game and next game. So, ready for it. Braced.
and Kirill sits there. So are we able to come to this cafe? It has been many years since I was in the city.
Well, yeah, I mean, I give you directions. I could
You can just live with us in my bed. It's fine.
give you my number.
Is there a dot on the other side of the room?
Sleep together.
It's like the grandma in Mulan. You want to stay forever?
Dot will move into Pestil's room, and then we'll have a spare bedroom for Tari, and Khalil can sleep in your bed.
It's amazing how much this fam ships this ship that JD hasn't shipped yet.
And Crow's like, yes, I will take your number. Would you like mine?
Sure, I feel like that'd be the easiest way to stay in touch.
Okay. And he just holds out his bracelet and taps
Yeah,
it.
tap it over there. Yep, tap that.
And is there anyone else who would like to have an interaction with someone they haven't yet, or another interaction?
With the obvious recipient.
God,
I shouldn't even say at this point.
No, you should though, for the audience's sake.
I guess we should probably have Dot and Vessel have an actual
Mooch!
one-on-one talk. Instead of drowsy, I just woke up from having my leg cut open and sewn back
Smooch.
together talk.
Dot can wheel your way.
Smooch.
I mean,
Maybe
can Vessel
Smooch.
go? Is Vessel good to stand and walk it out?
Smooch.
Lock it up.
Vessel is going to try and walk.
Can you guys hear me? Smooch.
If Vessel goes to stand, Dot will offer her hand for her.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Most of the dizziness is worn off. I'm gonna try and walk again.
That's good. You need to make sure you can walk if we're going to go into an apocalypse fight.
Yeah, and Vestal will try and stand up out of her chair and take Dot's arm. It's not so bad. My legs feel a little bit weak. Probably not walking for a while.
Yeah, and ripping into some muscle tissue.
Can we walk just at least a little ways away? I mean, I can lower my voice, unlike of us, but I mean, staying away from prying ears would be nice.
Yeah. And she's gonna look around the room where everyone is in separate corners. I mean, the only corner that's with any privacy is near sleeping Blister?
Well, there is a glitching pot plant on the other side of the room near the water dispenser.
We'll go. I guess we'll just head towards the water dispenser. Hide behind the ficus.
I'm just watching Rene laugh, sorry.
So, I mean, I told Coyle that we have to kind of bank everything on living. And I know that's true. And I mean, I'm trying to do my best to do that as well. Kind of, practice what you preach kind of thing.
Looks like we got a new friend!
I mean, a lot of the things I do now are based on the idea that, in a few days we might not be alive.
Hello, Raiders.
Hi, Raiders.
I say a lot, but I spent hundreds of years alone. I spent hundreds of years not being around anyone that I could even remotely call a friend, or family, or a partner, or really even an acquaintance. Because when you learn that you can live forever, or at least hundreds of years, you learn that everyone and everything around you withers and dies before your eyes, and it's terrifying and lonely and I really don't like being in a situation where I might see all of you do the same. And the fact that we might not be alive in a few days kind of made up my mind that instead of just sitting around and staying lonely and not making any connections with anyone, I would try and at least live the last little while in the company of someone I care about, in a group of people I care about, but more so near you. And I'm just hoping that it's worth, well, I'm hoping that the world doesn't end. And now that I have this, I don't know, feelings for all of you, it's not something I want to let go. I don't want to give any of you up.
Sounds like coming at me with the big emotions.
Sorry.
Dot's going to take Vestal by both of her hands. I can't imagine what it must be like to live for so long. I mean, I've only been around for 22 years. I don't have that same level of experience. And I don't know if the world is going to end in a few days. I don't know if you're going to live to be another 300 years after we survive. I don't know. But I do know that right now, in this moment, you have all of us. You have me. For as long as I'm here, and as long as you want me here, as long as you want us here, you don't have to worry about being alone, Vestal.
Thank you. I am very glad I met all of you. I'm very glad you gave me a reason to leave what felt like being a zombie, or stacking shelves and restacking shelves every day over and over again. Meeting strangers and saying goodbye and remaining strangers with everyone I meet. It's been a hell of a long time since I've had any family. And I've spent more of my life in the past year than I have in the last 200, 300 years. And it's all because of all of you, especially you. I can't just not say anything anymore.
Well, I'm glad. I'm not the best with emotions. I'm not the best with feelings, with people. or with anything that isn't saving lives. But having you in my life makes me want to try and to learn and to feel and to be vulnerable. And it's terrifying, but I'm glad it's you, and I'm glad you joined us.
I'm gonna take Heavenly's advice, and Vestal is gonna smooch Dot. That's what's gonna happen. You're welcome.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing. And it's not a little smooch, because Dot is in
You
for
have
it.
made like Heavenly's week. Look at that dance. Look at that speech dance.
Are we kidding though? They've made all of our weeks.
Definitely. Everybody unanimous.
Yeah,
Very
I feel like
obvious behind the
Nice.
goddess.
Nice.
Dot, wraps her arms around Vestal's neck, right in front of everyone behind this ficus and the watering thing.
Okay, what is everyone's reaction to that then?
There was a ficus in the room.
We went behind where the watering thing, where the little water dispenser is. There's a split.
Oh, I thought you guys were joking.
No, we tucked ourselves behind there.
We were
Hiding.
joking about half of the things we were saying to you. The ficus was not one of those things.
I love them. All
I
the things,
adjusted my microphone and everything to not even see the little pop up. Let's see what's going on.
of all the things, that wasn't the thing we made up. No, there really is.
Please tell us it's one of those robot ficuses that like lowers down when they start kissing.
The water dispenser starts talking. No, it doesn't. What is everyone's reaction to this? Because it's not subtle. This
AD
is a
is happy
square room.
smiling. Happy smiling, and I think she leans over to Kirill and Tari and just says, I think that's pretty new.
And he looks over, and so does Tari. Overly obviously, you know when they sort of go, you say don't look, and people go like that? That's what they're doing.
No, JD kind of puts her arm out and tries to push them both back, don't make it obvious.
That's
Why?
okay. They're not looking at you guys.
That's okay.
Why?
It's privacy.
If they wanted privacy, they would have gone behind the water dispenser.
I guess they thought the ficus was better comfort.
His damn plan!
The ficus. The ficus is an NPC role. In Edenfall.
That's right.
And how is Coil reacting, or is it just blank face still?
Yeah, I'm not really reacting, mainly because I felt, I knew. I knew. I smelt the pheromones. I knew what was happening. I'm just like, whatever, humans.
Whatever, humans.
Whatever, humans.
And what about Artie? How is Artie reacting?
Have we ever
Artie
asked
was looking-
Coil how pheromones smell?
No!
I'm just curious when they're in a room so full of it, right? How much does that weigh?
Yeah, this is a stinky room.
Oh man.
Sorry, Artie.
So good. It's exactly the sort of thing that Artie would want to know about, so it's perfect. Artie was looking the other way and turns and sees Vestal and Dot at just that moment and throws his hand out like that to tap Soren and does it badly and hits that little bone at the end of your hand, and he's always like this. He's like,
She sits bolt upright. What is it? Very loudly, as if it's a panic moment. Oh. and just sort of looks over, but still very loud.
Yeah.
They seem happy.
JD like waves at Soren from across the room and just says, "Yay!"
And Soren's just like a little wave back. And after this, before anything else happens, does anyone want another conversation or another? Would anyone like to talk to anyone? Would anyone like a flashback?
I just like to say there's definitely a slightly awkward walk back. Turn around and you notice that everyone's looking at you.
Yeah, everyone is looking.
Awkward handhold to like a very private, like probably next to Blister because he's unconscious. Just no one's going near the snoring man, so we can just hide there.
Okay.
JD is trying not to watch, but like also not being subtle.
You can definitely see that, Dot and Vestal, as JD is not subtle at all. I don't think anyone in this room is subtle at all.
Look, we have our strengths.
This is not it.
Subtlety is not one of them.
Okay. The door opens and the receptionist comes back in. Hello, if you would like to follow me.
JD stands up. Let's go.
Kirill stands and sort of helps Tari up, offers a hand to for her to come up as well. Also, thank you, Kiana, for that sub, and it goes an advantage to Bree.
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna need it keeping my wife safe.
And the receptionist looks over to you, Dot, and Vestal. And Vestal, you're standing now, right, aren't you? I'm glad to see you've recovered. How are you feeling?
Not too bad. Leg's a little weak, but getting better. I can walk on it.
Okay, fantastic. And how about the rest of you? And Soren is just sat there waiting, just watching everyone.
Dot stands next to Vestal. Rolls her shoulders. She's ready.
Soren stands up and holds a hand out to Artie. Should we go then?
Yeah, I guess it's time.
Okay. And for the first time, actually, you feel like she's trembling a tiny bit, but quickly tries to steady it. It's another very human feeling you are getting from Soren.
Yeah, we're going to do this together, right?
Yes, yeah. And again, you hear that stumble over words, but much more human this time. Face it together, and then at the end together.
Yeah.
Okay. And she sort of almost half leads you, half walks with you towards this receptionist. And Coil, do you stand up and follow?
Yes.
Okay. And Blister is still snoring away. And the receptionist looks at him and goes, "Oh, just leave him here. I'll bring him out later." Who was it you wished to see again?
Telemachus?
Telemachus.
Okay. Fantastic. Follow me. And she lingers briefly, looking at each one of you, and steps out of the room. And you're in quite a wide room. You can see a set of stairs, which she leads you up. And this is, as much as it's all metal, it's almost like a very grey concrete mixed in with it as well. There are no windows. There's nothing that looks breakable, as if someone could get out. There is only one sort of screen, and it's almost like a one-way mirror, and it shows you out over this ocean, this cliff face, this island that you're on. And you walk through these corridors, and either side there are lots of doors. You can hear voices from these doors. If you hear any of them, if they ask you any questions, do not pay any attention to them. Please just keep moving. And she keeps moving herself, walking over and over again. And as you walk in, or are you walking in silence? Or are you saying anything?
JD will walk in silence, but she'll kind of keep checking in on everyone in the family, but most especially Kirill and Tari, because they're the newbies.
Dot's like a hawk. Like, she's looking at everything. She's looking at doorways. She's looking at her friends. She's looking at potential escape routes. Watching this fucking secretary to make sure she's not making any shady movements.
I have two questions. Number one, Artie's in general looking for computer terminals. I guess that's not a question. And number two, how similar is the layout design of this place to Screen Care? Does it look similar?
It doesn't look too similar. It's the most similar it is the fact that it's a very dull color. It's very, very gray. It's very, very metallic, but again, almost that sort of very early, almost concrete sort of feel to it, very boxy. And she looks back at you all looking around, is like, we use mostly concrete here, not metal. If that is what you are wondering.
Why?
Because some of our inmates can bend metal.
But none of your inmates can bend concrete.
Correct. And she just smiles and keeps walking. And she starts to talk to you all as she walks. Very much, there's a few inmates here, around 17 in total, currently in here. Some are masterminds. Some have lost their minds. Some have abilities that they use for beyond their control. So, let's not talk to them.
Why is Telemachus here?
She was referred here.
By?
I don't know.
Hmm.
I'm only the receptionist. I'm afraid you, and looked over at Coil, attacked our doctor.
Okay. So, but what you're saying is one could make a referral and have someone locked in a big cement box?
With good reason and evidence provided. Perhaps her mind was warped.
Or she's intelligent and powerful, and someone didn't want her out.
Who would do that?
Oh, I'm not going down this road with you, sister.
And she looks at you a little bit shocked at the harshness of it. She's like, that is perfectly all right. and sort of half smiles awkwardly and nods and keeps you moving. And you do see lots of different, almost like cells, and you start to see almost like windows into them. You see different people, all in very boxy t-shirts, all in very boxy trousers, like white or grey, men and women. Some of them sit very, very still. Some of them stand and just watch you pass. Some of them chatter to themselves or they shout at the people in between. And they all sound pretty coherent. And you go further and further and you feel like you're going lower and lower until you come to a room. And at the end of this corridor is a huge door, absolutely huge. And it looks to have many, many locks on this door. And she looks over to you. Right, okay. There's 2-door process. I'm afraid I can't go in with you as I must watch the outer door. Please take this, and she hands you a card. This will allow you back out of the room and also in through the second door. So, and she puts this card slot in and puts her handprint up against the this panel, and you see all these locks just slot, bing, back, like open over and over again. And the door opens. You see almost like a porch, like a tiny little corridor, and a glass door the other side. You suspect it's many, many layers of glass. And you see someone in this very large, very square room, again, very clinical. There is a chair, and there is a table, and there is a bed, and a person sat on the end of this bed.
Dot walks in straight away. She just walked straight in the room.
Please remember,
it's a blonde woman, right?
There is a blonde woman in there.
With no facial gems, right?
You can't tell. She's not looking at you. She's lying in the bed.
Actually, Dot doesn't walk in the room then if she's not visible.
Mm-hmm. You do not want to go in.
Will we be able to get back out once the door closes behind us?
That's what the card's for.
So we simply need to use the card to get back out.
Only this card on the first door and on the second one to get in. And then please, and she looks over at one of the screens, please scan your retinas so that you can allow yourselves out again. They will be wiped within the day. It's so that she cannot get out.
What
And
is
you're
she in
sure
for?
this is Telemachus?
Yes. Telemachus, and she sort of calls out. She steps into the first bit herself and knocks almost on this glass door. Please, you have guests. And you see this woman sit upright, swing her legs round, look a little bit confused, and tie up this big bunch of very curly blonde hair. Guests, I don't have guests. I never have guests. And looks over. Who is in line of sight?
Hi.
I mean, Dot's like glaring at her, like all up in this like receptionist's business, all up in everyone's fucking business, like.
You can see her face is suspicious. She's looking at like everything suspiciously. And you see this woman with very pale skin, big blonde hair, bright green eyes, in this very boxy sort of clinical medical outfit. No shoes on, And she walks right up to the glass, because you can see after the second door, you come out into this room which has just a full sheet of glass, like one wall. So you can look into this prison cell. I'm not supposed to be in here. And the receptionist's like, now, we've had this conversation. It's like, she's so sick. But maybe if you start, improving, we'll let you out again.
What is she in for?
Being a danger to society.
Sick, how sick? Sick how?
Sorry?
How is she sick?
She's a danger to society.
I'm going to look at Dot and tilt my head to one side inquisitively.
Dot's going to raise an eyebrow and then, like, nod a little.
Yeah, I'm going to try and knock this lady out.
Roll me a mic check, please.
Can I give her my advantage?
Yes, you can.
Roll this with advantage.
Okay.
Did it roll twice?
Yes, you have a 4 and 3.
Oh!
I would say she's trained in knocking people out too, so I feel like the difficulty should lower.
She got a 4. She got a 4 anyway for the first one. So
just trying to like bump it down as low as possible. Coil's knocked out a lot of people in her days. She's a professional.
You have knocked her out. How have you knocked her? Like, how are you doing this? So she's like, now Telemachus.
Yeah, so as she's kind of like talking down to Telemachus and maybe her attention is a bit distracted by JD, I'm going to quit with as few movements as possible. Like, I'm not trying to be slow or sneaky. I'm going to kind of come around her from the back, and I'm not even going to waste my time getting my paddles out. I'm just going to like bring both elbows down on the back of her head.
Yeah, she's like a dead weight. She just drops. You hear a moan briefly before she sort of just passes out completely. And Soren just watches you do this and then moves over and starts pushing her like body to the side so it's out of the path.
I felt that perhaps she was not going to be useful to us, and if we need to break Telemachus out,
We know how now.
It's a problem.
We have the keys and we know how to open it into the system. So, JD, want to let your great grandma out?
JD is gonna JD was like up by the glass pretty much as soon as this poor lady's knocked out. She was only horrified for like 1 second.
You haven't opened the second door yet, which is also glass.
Yeah, no, we haven't opened that one up yet.
No.
I gotta scan your retinas.
To get back out.
Right.
Yeah.
So she runs up to the second door, not through the second door.
Mm-hmm.
And
she just runs through it like Wile E. Coyote.
And she's like looking at this person on the other side until Dot calls to her, and JD looks at this person and just says, "Are you really Telemachus?"
And this person sits down as close to the glass as possible on her side. I don't know. Who are you?
Jay.
How do I know that? You could just be another one of them.
Ooh.
Here.
You know what Dot has a photo of? Dot has a photo of her as a child with Telemachus watching her. Dot kept those because that's fucking weird. So she takes it out and she presses it against the glass right in front of her dumb blonde face.
We were told Dawn could be anyone.
What
She
about
wanted to-
Dawn? She can be anyone.
Then
Can
how
I
do we
use a
know?
skill?
Ooh.
Yeah. How do we know you are Telemachus?
What skill would you like to use, Zelda?
So I have roll 20 open because I don't think the internet's gonna run both roll 20.
I can open up your character. What are you trying to do?
Mind reading skill.
Oh
Okay,
god.
And I'd
I'll
like
see if we
your
can
character
do
sheet
it.
is
advanced.
your character sheet's way fuller than mine. I don't know what to press.
No, it's all right. It's because you can do it because it's in line of sight. You can see them as well. What are you looking for? Because as you reach out for this person, they are like a brick wall, and you can tell she knows exactly what you're doing.
I was just looking to read like just really surface thoughts, and like JD is asking questions in the background, and I'm trying to like see if anything pings as like it's lying or she's consciously not telling JD the truth, or
You can, as you sort of enter the mind of this person, her eyes immediately shift to you, and she watches you. It's like, and you can feel resistance, and without her lips moving, it's like, just ask me the questions. What do you want to know? How do I know you are who you are?
right now we seem to be at some kind of stalemate where you don't trust us and we don't trust you. But we need each other, right?
Like you said, Dawn can be anyone. How do I know one of you aren't Dawn?
Listen here, you nosy blonde bitch. You've spent various lifetimes spying on us, watching us, cultivating us for some weird apocalypse, end of the world bullshit. If you're really Telemachus, I don't trust the god.
Cultivating you? Is that how you've interpreted it? God, you are Dot. You're always suspicious.
There you fucking go. Now, are you really Telemachus? Can we let you out so we can stop the end of the world so I can keep my friends fucking safe?
I just do what she says.
I know. I wasn't cultivating you, Dot. I was keeping you alive. You... And she just sort of closes her eyes and smiles briefly. Never mind. You wouldn't agree with me even if I told you.
Oh no, tell me. We have time. The world is ending.
It's exactly what we don't have. Now get me out.
JD looks at her family to confirm that this is what the right thing to do is.
We have no other options at this stage.
We don't.
Must get her out.
She could communicate with me through telepathy. The people I know who can do that are people with the gem.
Yeah, but she's also has a weird off and on relationship with a witch and is one of the first humans and created Eden and can time travel and
I'm really, really smart.
she's really, really smart too.
Modest.
Wait, is RT with us?
Did you bring him with you?
Yes,
Usually.
RT and Child stay with me usually, even though Blister's here now.
Yeah, fuck Blister.
JD's gonna pull RT out of her pocket and just hold him up to the glass.
And you see her face completely change. It's like a child seeing a long lost friend light up, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, buddy, come on!" Like as she's like banging on the glass, like, "Let me out! Like, come on!" And this Wizmo is jumping up and down, and like because one of the hands are like a spanner, it's not doing anything to the glass, but it's just clanging
Yeah,
Again,
if
class.
if RT is convinced, I am convinced. So JD
Release.
will, yeah.
Release the Telemachus. Do I have a pair of spare something for her feet? Like wraps? Something? That's gonna take out 2 gauze rolls and she can wrap her feet with them because barefoot is embarrassing.
Maybe the receptionist shoes would be the same
Ah,
style.
the wrist.
This is why we have Artie.
This is why we need Artie.
And you can unlock everything. And Telemachus sort of bursts out of this room, and the 2 Wismos run over to her, and she's picking them up, and she's just like, I can't believe you got out again. You're getting better at this. Like, and just sort of starts chatting away to them and looks over at all of you. Hi. I guess we haven't really met well, I've met you properly, and sort of points at Coil. But the rest of you, hi.
Met Coil?
Briefly,
Do I remember this?
you do not remember this. This is from effectively the birthday party where you
Yeah.
memory wiped.
Yeah.
Were you the one who turned on Coil?
Most of the time, yes. Had to make sure they were still running smoothly.
What do you mean most of the time?
Well, I wasn't there all the time. I don't know if someone else did.
Are you the one who turned me on most recently?
That, admittedly, I don't think I did. It's all a bit fuzzy.
What? As Dot is removing the shoes of this receptionist for Telemachus, she just asks.
And her clothes.
No, not her clothes.
Tellings
that's-
doesn't have any clothes. She's wearing like a gown.
No, I'm in like t-shirt and
like
trousers.
hospitals, like scrub
Yeah.
shirt and pants. She'll remove the shoes, and as she's taking off the shoes,
Upsetting Heavenly.
we're not stripping this woman. Dot won't go that far.
She needs her clothes. We can replace their clothes and we can put the lady in the cage.
It's a glass room, not a cage.
There's 2 locking doors. It's a cage.
As Dot's doing that, she's just going to. We have a lot of questions, obviously,
Obviously.
but we also know this is not the time nor the place. And she stands up and produces these sensible Telemachus.
Thank you. And she starts like pulling them onto her feet, sort of tucking things in to make sure they try and fit a bit better. How the hell did you find me?
We don't have a fucking choice. Also, Blister appeared.
Blister! Oh my
No,
god! And
we
she
don't have time for
darts
this.
out of the room back.
Can I do a speed check to grab her by the collar?
You can try. I have stats for Telemachus.
Oh. Okay. We'll just do a speed roll. 4.
Nope.
God, I hate her already.
Your hands graze thing as she excitedly, like a kid, bursts out of this room and starts running just out of this this room, this corridor. She looks back briefly, is like, "Are you coming?"
Yeah, JD will run after her.
Yeah. And she calls back to you, JD, sort of slowing down to run beside you. It's like, "Did the helmet fit all right?"
The what?
The bike helmet.
The one for my birthday?
Yes.
That was you.
Yes.
It was
almost like it should be obvious, but you feel like she's forgotten.
perfect.
Great. And she sort of keeps running back down this direction of this corridor. And she's like, "Did you come from this direction or this direction? It's been a while."
That one.
Great. And she sort of disappears
Okay.
again. And Did the rest of you stay by the door, or did you follow?
I'll follow.
Okay.
Joe, Brett.
And
Dot's gonna close the first door before she leaves.
yeah, you can easily close.
I am locking this woman in.
It's
Taking
more
all of her key cards, all of her pieces. Honestly, it's just to roll her into their fucking room she has to. But she takes everything this woman owns and locks her through the double doors.
Her clothes.
No, not her clothes. She
just
locks her in
constantly
there.
like.
Key cards, information on like maps or how to get to fucking any files she has. She just takes it all.
Yeah, no, she's just got cards. She hasn't got like that. She's got like the
All of them are mine.
and stuff like that. But you don't take her clothes. And you can whiz off down this corridor after them. And Dot, I'm assuming you're the last one as you locked all the doors and everything like that. And you hear a voice from one of these rooms on the other side. You just hear, Dot. Do you look?
What does the voice sound like?
Almost like a woman's voice. Dot.
Is everyone gone?
Whoever's last might just be rounding the corner.
Yeah, Dot's gonna look.
I'll be waiting for Dot. Like, I won't go past the next threshold without her. So, I'll be waiting the door, inside the door. Just like the second door, waiting.
Yeah, well, those doors have closed. This is now.
I
down
locked that
the
bitch in.
corridor.
She's locked in.
Yeah, she's gone. This is yet another receptionist you have decided to. Yeah. And you can. Do you go over to the door, or what are you doing? It's definitely a woman's voice.
She's gonna peer from the other edge of the hallway. Just kind of see a figure, a shape, kind of like hair color and discerning features. She's not gonna get like press up to the glass. But she'll like peek over.
This is a dark room, and you see a silhouette of absolutely a woman's figure and long hair, and you see the head tilt to the side. Dot. And it waits and stands and doesn't move.
She's gonna turn to look at Vestal, who's down the hall a bit.
As you do, you hear, she's pretty, isn't she?
Dot's gonna take a step forward.
And there's silence. And you just hear Dot as the head tilts to the other side. Almost like it's looking at you.
Dot's gonna take another step forward. And then slowly walk towards that first door, but she's gonna stay about 2 feet behind. And she's not gonna say anything. She's just gonna look.
Okay, Vestal, you can see Dot approaching the door itself. Are you doing anything?
Dot, is everything okay?
Dot's gonna hold her hand up to not like if Vestal starts to walk forward, she's gonna hold her hand up like this.
I'll definitely be taking at least a step forward. What's wrong?
Dot's gonna close the gap between her and the door and look at this woman, hand still up.
And the head sort of moves from side to side. And you see a flash of color from the center of the forehead.
Dot's gonna jump back. Like, hand still up for Vestal, but she's gonna jump back with her hand forward as well. And she's gonna back up to the other end of the door, like against the wall.
She's really pretty. Sweet face. But then you know that, don't you?
Listen here, you stupid bitch. I don't care what you want with Eden. I don't care what you want in general. You stay the fuck away from Vestal.
And there's a silence. But I can't.
Dot has all the key cards.
And you can see that glint of that jewel again. Has Vestal ever told you how she got this? Does Vestal know?
Why?
I told her.
Yeah, you've told her, right? Yeah. She has, and it has never had anything to do with you, Dawn. And she'll say that loud enough for Vestal to hear. Hands still up. And actually at this point she's gonna like wave her off. Like wave Vestal off.
Does Vestal move?
She is not going to move out of, like she's not letting down her sight.
And you just see that head sort of weave again, almost snake-like, as if it's looking at you. What happens if someone tries to take it away?
Swear to God. I will kill you.
I sincerely hope you do. And that is where we will leave Eden this week.
I die next episode. Oh, this is for me. It was nice knowing all you guys.
No! Dot won't allow it.
This is not okay. I have 3 different conspiracy theories now.
All the conspiracy theories. Okay. So, yeah. So everyone, this was the penultimate episode. Thank you so much for being here. We would like to see your conspiracy theories and ideas or what your favorite bit was in the Discord, and also a massive thank you to our amazing sponsors in the form of Maychan Press and also Bird in the Storm. Otherwise, it's the finale next week and the end. So,
but it's okay because we have Edenfall.
we have Edenfall.
We still have Edenfall, our podcast adaptation. And side note, if you want to know why we laugh for no reason sometimes, there's a Zoom chat released at Patreon tier on Scratticus's Patreon. And so that will hopefully add context to some of
And
our
they
random bursts.
Beautifully awful. I just want
They're
to stress. So,
Oh, man.
but other than that, we'll see you next week. So keep evoking emotions, and we'll see you then. Bye.
Bye. Love you.